The story you are about to see has been told before. A lot. And now we are going to tell it again. But different.
Nah. No. No. This story will not be told differently. Don't listen to no. We're going to be telling the story as a summary, not a Nomi knockoff. But before we do, let's read the prologue. Just be patient with me here. Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage. The which of you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toils shall strive to mend. This story starts off with a fight. Of course. Servants talk, Tuuk is angry and fights Benvolio. Prince complains about the non-stop fighting, blah 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 blah. Now to the important part. Romeo. Romeo's all sad and whiny and pitiful. Why? Because he's in love, and before you ask, no, he's not in love with Juliet. Yet. He's in love with a beautiful lady who goes by the name of Rosalind. Why would he be sad about that, you ask? Because he's a sorry excuse for a man is why. Nah, just kidding. He's sad because she doesn't want to marry him, nor any man. No, she's not lesbian. I don't think lesbians were even a thing at that time. She just wants to stay pure. So yeah, Romeo's sad, and his cousin Benvolio tries to cheer him up. Just forget about her. How could I forget such a beauty? Look at more beautiful ladies, obviously. Take some good old liberty and examine that eye candy. Nobody's more beautiful than Rosalind. I believe I may never love again. Then Benvolio just promised he'll find someone more beautiful than Rosalind. Meanwhile, near the Capulet house, Monsieur Capulet is chit-chatting with Paris. Not that Paris. This Paris. Not much of an improvement, huh? Anyway, Paris wants to marry the dear Juliet, and Capulet thinks this is a pretty good idea, but Paris will need Juliet's consent to marry her. What a good dad. I'm sure he won't make any decisions that make me think otherwise later in the story. Anyway, Monsieur Capulet has set up a feast to help Paris charm the dickens out of Juliet. But somehow, he chooses the servant who can't read. The poor man literally has asked Romeo to read the invitation for him. In the next scene, we meet our other hero. Hero S? Whatever. We meet Juliet. Apparently, Juliet isn't very interested in marriage, and her mother isn't very happy about that. There are ladies in Verona younger than you, who already have children. Besides, this Paris fellow is pretty into you. Oh yes, Paris is quite hot. I mean, he's a man of wax. You should consider talking to him. Maybe you'll fall in love? Ew. Now, back to Romeo's sad self. Romeo, his cousin Benvolio, and his good old buddy Mercutio, along with 6 others who aren't important, are on their way to this party, talking about dreams and women, and honestly, I can't understand half the stuff they say. I had a dream last night. Me too. Oh, what was your dream? Dreams are often just lies. In bed asleep, while they do dream things true, whatever that means, continues to say the weirdest dream I've ever heard. I don't even understand half the description of his dream. I'm not sure even he knows. Is this about a woman? Anyway, once we get to the next scene, Romeo almost immediately forgets about Rosalind and falls in love with Juliet. I mean, at least he's not crying over Rosalind anymore. Huh? Wait, what? He kisses her? How many times? Oh, twice? They just met! Dude, Romeo needs to chill, man. Yes, back to the script. Anyway, after they kiss twice, Romeo and Juliet figure out that their love is their enemy. It's doomed! Now, before our next scene, prologue number 2. Now, old desire doth in his deathbed lie, and young affection gapes to be his heir. That fair for which love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched, is now not fair. Now Romeo is beloved and loves again, alike bewitched by the charm of looks, but to his foe supposed he must complain, and she steal love's sweet bait from fearful hooks. Being held a foe, he might not have excess to breathe such vows as lovers used to swear, and she has much in love, her means much less to meet her new beloved anywhere. But passion lends them power, time means to meet, tempering extremities with extreme sweet. Romeo has snuck into the Capulet orchard as Juliet stands at her window. Yes, the balcony scene. O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father, refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I will no longer be a Capulet. How dramatic. You only meet him once and you already want to marry him? What a fool. You could say how easily these kids fall in love is tragic. Ha, 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 ha. Anyway, Romeo hears her words of love and sorrow, and he finally reveals to her that he's been listening to every word. Creep. In the next scene, we meet Friar Lawrence. Romeo tells Friar that he and Juliet are in love and asks him to marry them? Okay, this is just getting ridiculous. Well, Friar thinks this is a good idea, not because he believes they are in love, but because he believes a marriage between Romeo and Juliet could bring peace between the Montagues and Capulets. So, of course, he agrees to marry Romeo and Juliet. Juliet sends for a nurse to meet Romeo, Benvolio, and Mercutio. And I know this isn't important to the story, but the amount of times Mercutio calls nurse this word is laughable. He even sings a song about it. An old hare whore and an old hare whore is very good meat in Lent, but a hare that is a whore is too much for a score when a whore is there to be spent. Oh yeah, Mercutio is definitely my favorite. Anyway, Juliet has been waiting for nurse to bring news of Romeo for 3 hours. Why does she have to be so old and slow? If she was younger, this would go by quicker. But no, she's old and might as well be dead with how slow she is. Oh, there she is. After the many hours of waiting, Juliet finally gets news to go to Friar Lawrence's cell to get married to her one true love. And by the next scene, they're happily married and oh so in love. Nothing could possibly go wrong after something like Tybalt picks a fight with Romeo. Of course, Romeo doesn't want to fight Tybalt since they're relatives now, so Mercutio fights Tybalt instead. Well, we all know Mercutio won't die. I mean, who kills the comedy relief? Huh? Tybalt wins fight? What was the last part? Mercutio dies? No! Why? It should have been Tybalt. Wait, what does Romeo do? He avenges Mercutio by killing Tybalt? Oh. Oh no, Tybalt's dead. Anywho, we're probably gonna have to wrap this up a bit, cause it's 3 AM and I'm tired. Romeo has been banished from Verona because Prince thinks that he's the one who killed Mercutio. Juliet finds out about this and is having a debate with her feelings. Her father is no longer asking and is now forcing her to marry Paris. She doesn't want this to happen, so she comes to Friar Lawrence for help, and he comes up with a plan. This plan doesn't work out as he hoped, because Romeo didn't get his message, and instead got the message that Juliet is dead. Romeo has a fight with Paris, kills Paris, and then kills himself. When Juliet wakes up, she finds Romeo dead, and then stabs herself with a dagger. And the two families finally find peace through their children's death.